Today I learned about a peculiar act from the early 1900s known as Sober Sue. She gained fame not for her extraordinary talents but for a unique quirk. She never smiled. A theater, intrigued by this oddity, decided to make a challenge of it. They offered a tempting prize of $1,000 to anyone who could succeed in making Sue laugh, which lured in some of the biggest comedians of the era. The promise of a substantial reward drew in large crowds who eagerly gathered to witness these comedians attempt to bring a smile to Sober Sue's face. The competition turned into a free spectacle, with the audience eagerly anticipating each comedian's effort. As the story of Sober Sue and the challenge continued to capture public attention, it eventually emerged that there was a heartbreaking reason behind her perpetual lack of smile. Sue suffered from facial paralysis, a medical condition that left her unable to express emotions through her face.
Today I learned that Patrick Stewart, a theater actor, found himself facing a decision that would shape his career. He was presented with a 6-year contract to perform in a show called Star Trek: The Next Generation, TNG. Interestingly, he was not initially keen on the idea of such a long commitment to a science fiction television series. Stewart's agent, however, offered him reassurance. The agent believed that the show would likely meet a swift demise after only 1 season. Armed with this confidence, Stewart agreed to the contract with a certain level of detachment. He envisioned his involvement as an opportunity to make some money, perhaps acquire a tan while shooting, and then head back home.
Today I learned that during the Victorian period, theaters faced a challenge that significantly impacted their longevity. Due to the prevalence of fires in that era, the average lifespan of a theater was shockingly short, often lasting less than 20 years. In the 19th century, theaters were frequently constructed with flammable materials, and safety measures were far less advanced than they are today. This combination of factors made theaters susceptible to fires, which could devastate a building and endanger the lives of the occupants. As a result, theater owners of the Victorian era had to contend with the constant threat of fire, which necessitated regular rebuilding and renovations to keep their venues operational. This challenging environment provides us with a glimpse into the historical struggles faced by those in the entertainment industry during that time, where fire was a constant menace, and theaters often faced a short and precarious existence.
Today I learned that the terms on Broadway and off Broadway have a lot to do with theater size, not just their location. When you hear a play or musical is on Broadway, it doesn't mean it's necessarily geographically there. Instead, it's about the size of the theater. A production is labeled as on Broadway if the theater can seat 500 or more people. Conversely, off-Broadway productions are those held in theaters with a capacity ranging from 100 to 499 seats. So, it's not about being right on the famous New York street, but rather the size of the venue. Moreover, there's an even smaller category known as off-Broadway, reserved for productions in venues seating fewer than 100 people. This classification helps distinguish between the different scales of theatrical performances and provides a clearer understanding of the theatrical landscape.
Today I learned that in ancient Rome, a rather macabre practice existed where some condemned prisoners faced execution while playing the roles of actors in famous death scenes right on the theater stage. In ancient Roman times, public entertainment often took on various forms, including gruesome spectacles such as gladiator contests and executions. This particular practice involved prisoners who had been sentenced to death becoming part of a twisted form of theater. They were made to reenact famous death scenes from historical or mythological stories, giving the audience a live, albeit grim, performance. It's important to understand that these prisoners did not have a choice in their participation. It was a brutal and dehumanizing way to end their lives. The Roman audiences, accustomed to such brutal displays, watched these performances as a form of entertainment and, in some cases, a way to make a societal point.
Please like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Thank you.